Hey guys, what's up? It's Fuzzy Fire, and I am bringing you guys a quick 5 minute or less Frost guide. Now, this is going to be for M+. I'll make a future video for Raid, but without much being said, here's the talents. I'll make an import string for you. You don't really need to change much. Stat wise, the main thing with Frost is your core mechanic is shattering spells, which is times and a half your crit chance plus 50. So for example, I have 30% crit, so time and a half would be 45% plus 50. That's 95% crit chance on spells that I shatter. So with shattering, you'll see here, these are my Winter's Chill stacks, and that is applied by Flurry. It's the only way to shatter spells through Winter's Chill. You can shatter spells with Freeze, your pet Freeze, which you have to set up a macro for. That's what my Shift 4 is. You can also shatter spells with Ice Nova or Frost Nova. Now, with Ice Nova and Frost Nova, and Pet Freeze, the only time you should be shattering is after you Glacial Spike. It's important to note that Comet Storm and Frozen Orb can both benefit from Shattered, which is you're mainly going to do with Winter's Chill. They will benefit from the shatter, but they won't consume the Winter's Chill. In AoE, rotation-wise, you want to go up into a pack, precast Blizzard, then you want to hit Icy Veins, Lust, Orb, Comet Storm, Cone of Cold, Comet Storm, Orb, Blizzard, then you shifting power, Blizzard again, and your Frozen Orb will be back on cooldown because your Frozen Orb cooldown gets reduced as Blizzard hits enemies. So when you have all these blizzards out, your orb gets a crazy low cooldown. Outside of your Cone of Cold combo that I just highlighted, you want to Ice Lance, and then at exactly 4 stacks you want to Flurry, because most of the time you're going to be focusing a target that can't be frozen. So most of the targets that can't be frozen are the ones that can't be CC'd. And so you want Flurry on that target when you Glacial Spike, and then you Frost Nova or Ice Nova right after, depending. It really does depend. So if you do it at exactly 4 stacks, you'll have 2 Winter's Chill, and you can Ice Nova, which is more damage. But if for whatever reason you Flurry at 3 stacks, you Ice Lance to get to 5, now you only have 1 Winter Chill. You cannot Ice Nova because that will consume the Winter's Chill, and your Glacial Spike will not benefit from that. If you only have 1 Winter Chill and you cast Glacial Spike, you have to shatter with Frost Nova, Pet Freeze, or those are the only options. Let me show you rotation here. Mirror Images, Blizzard, Icy Veins Lust, Orb, Comet Storm, Cone of Cold, Comet Storm, Orb, Blizzard, Shifting Power, Blizzard, Ice Lance a couple times, Orb, Blizzard, Ice Lance, Flurry, Blizzard again, Pet Freeze, Ice Nova, Blizzard, Ice Lance, Orb, Ice Lance, Comet Storm, Ice Lance, Blizzard, Flurry, and we shatter again. And you just keep repeating that over and over and over. The main thing you want to keep in mind when you're doing AoE is you want Blizzard, Comet Storm, Blizzard, Orb, and Comet Storm. You want to be pressing these buttons on CD. And see, now my Cone of Cold is up. So as soon as you want to hold Comet Storm, like you want to use these together if Cone of Cold's coming up. So then you can Comet Storm, Cone of Cold, Comet Storm again. It also resets your orb, so make sure you throw that out before. It's important to note that Frost is the only spec that you don't want to double Lust on. So typically what you'll do is you'll Icy Veins Lust, and then you'll do your rotation, and then you will save the second Lust for when Icy Veins is back up on another pull. So you can really get, depending on the dungeon, right, you can really get 3 Lusts every 10 minutes because your first Lust doesn't go on cooldown, so then you can use it again in 2 minutes, and then a 5-minute CD, so you can use it at 7 minutes. And as long as you're active with your shifting powers, it should be up at that 10-minute mark for when your group needs it. So in single target, we don't really ever press Blizzard. Frozen Orb is a low priority Comet Storm is high priority, but it needs to be shattered. There's going to be more frostbolting. In single target at 2 icicles is when you can frostbolt flurry, and that will guaranteed get you to 4 stacks, and then you can ice lance and glacial spike, and you'll still have 1 winner's chill. Now you have a 30% chance with frostbolt or flurry to generate a second icicle, so that's why it's typically best to do a frostbolt flurry at 2 stacks, because there's a chance you'll go right to 5 icicles to glacial spike. If you don't, you can just do an you can do an ice lance into a glacial spike and still have a winner's chill. So I'm gonna go over the rotation here in single target, but just kind of like keep a short priority listed in the back of your mind. So we're gonna do the opener, which is frostbolt flurry, icy veins, lust, ice lance, comet storm, orb, and then that's your opener. So you want to consume your fingers of frost before you flurry, because ice lance will consume winter's chill and the finger of frost, which doesn't do that much more damage. So it's better to just ice lance the fingers of frost to get your icicles, and then you can flurry and then generate more icicles. We'll do an opener here for you. Going to frostbolt, flurry, icy veins, lust, ice lance, orb, comet storm, ice lance, flurry, glacial, consuming fingers of frost. Then we flurry, ice lance, glacial spike, ice lance, flurry, glacial spike, ice lance, frostbolt, flurry, glacial spike, ice lance, frostbolt, flurry, glacial spike, ice lance. It's kind of a simple rotation, really. So we have comet storm back up. We're gonna cast that into a winner's chill, and then we should have shifting powered early. So right after we comet storm, we should shifting power. That way it comes back up quicker. So see, we have orb and comet storm coming up, so I'm going to flurry comet storm, flurry orb comet storm into a glacial. And that's single target. Pretty simple. So at 5 icicles, you can send the glacial spike and flurry right after. It will benefit from it. At 4, you can flurry and have 5 and 2 winner's chill, so you can glacial ice lance. At 3, you can flurry ice lance. You'll be at 5 with 1, and then you can comet storm orb and then send a glacial spike into the winter chill, so that both of these also benefit from winter's chill. At 2, you can frostbolt, flurry, ice lance, glacial into 1, but remember, if there's only 1 stack of winter's chill, you have to glacial spike and frostbolt, because if you glacial spike, ice lance, the ice lance is going to hit first, and then your glacial spike isn't going to benefit from winter's chill. Other than that, that is the rotation. The only other thing that I have to say is trinket wise. So we still benefit from, there's a bomb going off outside. So we still benefit from the fire rings, the Vault of Incarnate rings with incandescent essence, and in the highest of keys, I've seen people running the Vessel of Searing Shadow because it does fire damage and procs these rings. But what I've seen most is just Tome and Fractured Heart. I've been dabbling with Rage Feather because it's been doing pretty well in place of Fractured Heart. You can also run the Iridius Fragment, and it does really well in AoE. The issue is it's a 3-minute CD. But every 3 minutes, you can Blizzard and then pop that right. So like you'll Blizzard Icy Veins, and then you'll pop the Trinket Orb, Comet, you do your Conical combo, and you will do a massive amount of damage with that Trinket. The issue is it's only 3 minutes. Defensive wise, it's important to note that you have Cold Snap. So you do not have a cheat death, but you do get 2 ice colds. And the best way to do this is you will ice cold, and then as soon as you press ice cold, use Cold Snap. You instantly have ice cold back. There's like a little grace period where you can't like ice cold, cold snap, ice cold, but you can ice cold, cold snap, and then it'll come back shortly after. And that's typically what I do on boss fights is I will just ice cold, cold snap, and then that way the next like one shot mechanic I can ice cold again. But yeah, hope this guide helped you guys. This was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. Hopefully this helped you guys, and hopefully this made sense to most of you. Good luck on the rest of Season 4, and I hope to see you guys back again soon. Peace out.